Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Godzilla Podcast. Some more news when it comes to the Godzilla 2014 film. This time having to do with a movie that apparently is going to come out the same exact time as Godzilla. And what I mean is this, Godzilla of course is going to come out in May of next year. Well, on that same week, the same week that the Godzilla movie is going to be released, it looks like a new movie, Disney's $1 Million Arm, is going to be released as well. And what that means is that this movie is essentially going to be placed head to head to the Godzilla 2014 film, and it'll be a competition to see who comes out first when it comes to the box office results that week. Now, before we discount this movie, what's important to note is that $1 Million Arm is actually going to be one of Disney's big films next year. And when I mention big, I mean in the sense that it's one of those movies that Disney's going to count on to not really blow up when it comes to upfront, first week type results, but more along the lines that it'll be a movie that'll get good word of mouth. And then over the weeks that the movie is released, it'll have less, like a real good number of people continuing to go see the film and produce some good results. The reason I mention this is because Disney's $1 Million Arm is actually one of those sports type movies, one of those feel good movies that always gets good reviews, always has good box office legs, and essentially will become a sleeper hit of sorts. And the only reason I mention this is because if this is released at the same time as Godzilla, we may just have, this is a long shot, but considering what just happened with Pacific Rim, we may just have a situation where Godzilla does not come out on top the first week. Instead, this movie does. And again, I mentioned this because what happened with Pacific Rim, everyone thought that Pacific Rim was going to be number one at the box office, but instead we had Grown Ups 2, a feel-good comedy of sorts, blow it out of the water. So the same thing could happen here. Now, $1 Million Arm, I mentioned that it's one of those feel-good sports-type movies. Think of it like Cool Runnings or Remember the Titans. And the reason for this is because apparently it has to do with the same formulaic type sports movies where you have a bunch of underdogs and they have to go against more of, I guess, better competitors than them, but because they're the underdogs and they have somebody training them, they're going to come out on top at the end. It's one of those feel-good movies, and it's going to star apparently Mad Men's John Hamm, who gets his own kind of cult following of sorts. So it's already going to have the recognition up front when it comes to a built-in audience. So anyways, is Godzilla going to come out on top the first week, or is $1 Million Arm going to come out on top? If you want to have Godzilla, of course, come out on top, go out in full force, go to the first week, make sure that it comes out at the beginning as the number one movie. $1 Million Arm, if we don't do that, then that movie will become the number one movie on there. So, and of course, we want to make sure that Godzilla has good box office legs, so that way it just doesn't flounder the next week, but rather stays on in the movie theaters for a long time. We want to make sure it's a success, so that way we get the other sequels. So anyways, just the latest news with regards to the Godzilla 2014 film. It's going to have direct competition the week it's released, and it's going to be from Disney's $1 Million Arm. Thanks again, everybody. Take care. Bye.